afternoon. My name is Eduardo. I'm a student here at Technology University, and today, I'm going to talk to you guys about a very special topic, which is how to how to sell a sales presentation. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, I know how to sell, I'm a salesman, but there's 5 tips that I'm going to give you today that are going to improve your sales and that are going to make you a better salesperson in this case. So be focused and open up your ears. Now today we're going to talk about the 5 tips to giving the perfect sales presentation. Let's go to the first slide. The first tip that I want to give to you guys is give the presentation at the end of the meeting. Now, what's the reason for giving the presentation at the end? You might be saying to yourself, well, if I'm going to go ahead and sell something, you only get one opportunity, and maybe at the beginning of the meeting where I'm going to sell. Well, sometimes it's right, but in this case, it would be wrong. Why? Because you don't know your salesman, you don't know your prospect. Now, knowing your prospect takes time. So during the meeting, you can see what they like, you can get more information about them, and you can basically know your prospect so good that at the end of the meeting, you're going to get a yes instead of a no. So it's very important that you take your time to get to know your prospects, so you can go ahead and make the sale. Let's go to the next slide. Topic number 2, present the challenges that can occur to your prospects. Now, what does this mean? Presenting the challenges is, basically giving them the ups and downs that that what you're selling can have. Now, you might be saying to yourself, that's crazy. Why am I going to give them the bad things when I can tell them all the good things and everything that is good about my product, because they're gonna buy it because it's good. Now, the thing is, the person doesn't want to know what's good about the product. The person wants to know how are they going to struggle if there's any type of challenges that occur during the process, or whatever type of product, being food, machine, or anything like that. They want to know the challenges so they can be prepared, and they can see, well, you know what, it's worth buying this, or basically I'm not going to buy it because the challenge is too tough. Now let's go ahead and go to the next slide. Let prospects interrupt. Now, what do I mean by letting them interrupt? Because interrupting is kind of rude sometimes, but in this case, since you're selling to the person, you have to be more conscious of them than yourself. Now, sometimes it's very easy to get caught up in your presentation, you're all excited, you want to sell, and you have all these ideas in your head and you just want to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Now, you don't take the time to for your prospects to ask questions. Now, when they ask questions, they're basically interested about the product. Now, a prospect that's just sitting down, they're listening to you, they're taking notes, they don't have any questions, well, they might not be interested. So if you take the time to let them interrupt during your presentation, you're going to have the audience attention, and they're going to be more interested in your product because you're giving them the opportunity to interact with you while you're presenting. Let's go to the next slide. Keep it short. Keeping it short. Now, you might be thinking, well, if he's going to keep it short, why is he rambling on so much? Well, in this case, we have a presentation, and I want to explain to you guys in full detail exactly what I'm presenting. Like I said at the beginning, it's the 5 tips to sell, to make the perfect sales presentation. Now, for this presentation, I gotta give you all the details. Now, when you're doing a sales presentation, you have to go straight to the point and be direct, focusing on the most critical aspects of what you're offering. Now, what do I mean about this? You basically have to give the customer or prospect basically what benefits he's going to get out of the product. And also, like we said in the past slide, what challenges are going to occur. Now, this is very important This is why I have a timer right here, which says 10 minutes, and less is more. Less is more basically means that you don't have to give the customer all the information at once, because you're just gonna saturate their head, and they're not gonna think about basically what you're selling. They're gonna think about all this information, and they're just gonna be overloaded with information. So they're not even gonna know what you're buying. So you basically have to be quick and concise. Now let's go to the next slide. Get lots of feedback. Now, by receiving feedback, you're basically giving the opportunity for the presentation to answer these two questions. The first question: does it make sense for your world? Does it make sense for your world? Is giving you the opportunity to ask your prospect: are they interested in it? Are they satisfied with what you're selling? Are they going to be able to use this in what they work on? So that's basically something that's very important. Feedback in this case, with this question, very important for you. Now the second question: could you see this applying to you? I mean, depending on what you're selling and depending on who you're selling to, you always have to be sure that what you're selling is basically gonna be like a puzzle to their life. I mean, because it's gonna connect, and they're gonna have the opportunity to try out this product and be satisfied with it. So this is very important for you. Always ask for feedback, being negative or positive. I mean, if you have positive feedback, well, you have the opportunity right there to close the sale. And you're gonna be more enthusiastic about it, so you're gonna have a lot more opportunity to close it than not close it. Now, if you get negative feedback, well, that's okay. Why? Because negative feedback is always good. Negative feedback gives you the opportunity to recalculate ideas and basically, how do you say it? You have the opportunity to get all the bad feedback, and in your next presentation, you're not going to use that because you already have all this. All the information you need to make your next presentation a lot better. So feedback is very important. And well, right now, we have to conclude right now we conclude with our presentation. That's basically the end right now. So these were the 5 tips to having a perfect sales presentation. I hope you guys liked it. If you do, well, you can look me up on Facebook. My name is Eduardo Cunha Garcia. I'm gonna be there. If you have any doubts, if you have any questions, just give me a message, and we'll talk about a little bit more about this topic. Thank you very much, and have yourself an excellent day.